I will most likely later today post the Zoom recording because some people prefer that. But then I send it to my gal and she puts it on my YouTube. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, this will be up there and it'll have Lynn's information on there probably tomorrow, to be honest. It'll probably get done in the next 24 hours. Now I got somebody new running that, so things will happen a little bit quicker because, well, we all get busy into May and June. And I was like, I need all these up there now. Okay, so we are so excited for these lunch and learns. They're phenomenal. I love all the different inspiration, the ideas, the go give spirit. Because honestly, ladies, we're all in different divisions. We're all over the Mary Kay world. You are always welcome to share however you learn about this. If you have the graphic or however you part of the information from Facebook or Boxer, I just put it in the groups that I'm part of. And then I hope other people are sharing. It's for consultants, it's for directors, it's for anybody that needs a midweek pick me up, right? Sometimes we just need that to get going again. And we have the beautiful Lynn Huckles, and she is in a top director group. And I had a few top director friends message me like, you need to have Lynn speak. I'm like, I've never met Lynn. I said, okay. I said, I would love that. Cause I always like, when you're not in all the divisions, obviously you don't always know everybody. Sometimes you see names in the applause, but I'm like, I would love that. And so I love when people come highly recommended. And so Lynn, I just appreciate your go give heart and you're willing to do this for all of us and taking your time and just pouring in to the whole Mary Kay world. Cause this goes everywhere. And I can't wait to get to know you better. And as we finish up Audacious Goals in June.
Yes, thank you so much. I am so thrilled. And that's one of the reasons I love these calls is because we get to meet new people. I started out in the Sapphire division and then went to Emerald for a long, long time. Now we're back to Sapphire. And you're right, when you're not in the same division, sometimes you really, there's a whole big world outside of your division that you don't know anything about. So yeah, so it's fantastic. So I just applaud you guys so much for being on because like I said, I know that honestly, there's a million things you could be doing right now, but you're investing in your business. And I think that that's incredible. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking to myself how that I'll be totally honest and transparent and just say that, right now, when there's so much out there, really, there's so much with Mary Kay. It's so easy, it's so easy to get plugged into things. And then you've got podcasts and you've got YouTube stuff and you've got pastors that you follow and all this great stuff, and I found myself honestly realizing several months back that, what, I've been reading lots of fantastic books. I've been, listening to podcasts and following leadership books and all this kind of stuff. But I realized that I've kind of gotten away from getting plugged into Mary Kay women and people that are actually in the trenches doing what I'm doing, having the same struggles, having the same, kinds of business and passion and everything about what I do. It's what they do. And I thought, why have I kind of gotten away from doing that? And so I started intentionally getting more plugged in to things like this because I realized that that was something that I had unintentionally kind of put on the back burner. And I thought, I need to get plugged back in. And, I've been in Mary Kay for 29 years. And I'm going to tell you that when I started, you guys are going to unplug as soon as I say this. There was no email. There was no podcasts. There was no Zooms. There was no computers. It's crazy to even imagine. And I know it makes me sound like I'm a million years old, but I will tell you what we did have was cassette tapes. I don't know how many of y'all remember cassette tapes, but Kathy Halou was my national sales director for many, many years. And she used to tell us that, that when we got in our car, she would always say, when you get in your car, do not listen to music, put in your Mary Kay tapes and get trained. It's like your mobile university. She would call it our mobile university. And, and then of course we moved on to CDs, but I can't even tell you how many my memories that I have of these CDs flying around in my car and, they were piled up everywhere and we would listen to them. And it was like our oxygen in our Mary Kay. And then now, like I said, now that the benefit of having so many amazing things out there that we can plug into, sometimes we forget what is the most important, and that is really being plugged into your Mary Kay people. So I just want to thank Jen so much for putting this together. You guys, honestly, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes her secretarial services and assistant services to get those out there, so that if we're not able to be on live, we can listen to the playbacks and things like that. And I have been personally so inspired, encouraged, and everything by these for sure. So thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you so much, because I know it is, on one hand, it doesn't seem like a lot, but on the other hand, it's a lot. It's a lot when you're busy and, making it consistent in your schedule, that you're always here on the dot Thursdays. It's really, and I know lots and lots of women feel the same way. So listen, today I just wanted to really briefly share my I story, just so you can kind of get to know me super quick. But my main thing is I want to really give you some tips for finishing well. And I know with only 22 days left in the seminar year, sometimes some of you maybe have already started like going, it's not going to happen. And we're going to talk about finishing well, and how it doesn't matter where you are, you can still finish well. Even if you don't meet your goal, you can still finish well. And so I definitely want to talk about that. But before I get started, I just want to tell you again, my name is Lynn Huckles, and I've been in Mary Kay for 29 years. So a long time. I was trained by Mary Kay Ash, and my national sales director, like I said, for many years was Kathy Halou. And I was so blessed by her and her training and so forth. And Sue Ubel was actually national sales director. Sue Ubel was my consultant. She introduced me to the products. She was my recruiter. She was my sales director, and then has gone on to be my national sales director. And she recruited me because I had been using the products for 3 years. I had gotten my mom and my sister using it. And I just tell you these things because it always inspires me to hear how people got started, because it kind of opens my mind up, because sometimes we just recruit in this little box, right? And it always inspires me to find out how they met that person and how they recruited them. But anyways, I've been using the products, introduced her to my mom, my sister. We were using the products, and I was living in Toledo, Ohio, and I was getting ready to move down to Charlotte, North Carolina. 3 small kids, a husband that was going to be traveling when we got here. And I didn't wear a lot of makeup. And honestly, I wasn't going to know a soul. So I wasn't like your great recruit prospect, right? And we didn't have virtual back then, of course. So I was going to have to relocate to this new area. And honestly, selling it was not even on my mind. I was going to school at night to be a court reporter. And like I said, I just had different plans. But she said to me, you should get started in Mary Kay, even if it's just get your own products at wholesale. Well, that appealed to me. See, if she would have asked me about the business, I probably wouldn't have been interested. But in fact, I'm sure I wouldn't have been. But because she said, get your own products at wholesale, I went, well, gosh, tell me about that. And it made sense for me to do that, so that my mom and I and my sister, we could order, a couple times a year and get our stuff at the 50% off. And I'm going to tell you, I did nothing with my business for a whole year and a half. So if you've recruited people under the premise of you can just get your products at wholesale, love on them anyways. Let them do what they want to do. Let them be happy where they are, and love on them and treat them like VIP customers. Because a year and a half after being in Mary Kay, but never doing a face, and being in Charlotte, I thought I really wanted to make some extra money. And so I looked actually at part-time jobs. I didn't pay anything. So I thought maybe I should just give this Mary Kay a try. And I'm going to tell you, I never in a million years saw myself as a salesperson. Didn't have any big goals or aspirations. I thought if I made, $500 or $600 a month, I could help with my kids' Christian education tuition. And that was my only goal. And because I loved being a mom, I loved all that. So that's what I did. I got started. Long story short, I will tell you, this is a little commercial for seminar. So I got started holding a few appointments, And that was probably like in May and June, maybe April, May. And my Sue Ubel, she was my director at the time, she said, oh, you got to go to seminar. I was like, I'm not going to seminar. And so anyways, if I go into that whole story, it'll take too long. But anyways, I ended up going to seminar, you guys, and it totally changed my life. So if you are on here, I can't imagine anybody on this Zoom that's not registered for seminar, but if there's a chance that anybody is, please, 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 please do not have in your mind that you need to make a lot of money before you go to seminar, because you go to seminar so you can make a lot of money. You know, you invest. It's like Mary Kay always said, you can't say to a stove, you know, give me some heat and I'll put in some wood. You got to say, you got to put in the wood and just trust that the heat's going to come. And so I'm so grateful. Honestly, she stayed on me like white on rice. I did not want to go. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have big aspirations of selling a whole lot or ever earning a free car, but I came home. I did 5 months. I earned my first free car. And 4 months later, I was a sales director. So it definitely shifted my mind. And here I am, you know, all these years later, my unit, I've been blessed to, you know, to drive free cars for many, many years. And we just picked up our 9th pink Cadillac. And you know, I've earned trips with Mary Kay and diamond rings and stuff I never, ever expected. And so anyways, that's my story. I will tell you too, in case this is anything that's important to anybody, but I had a special needs son, which when I started Mary Kay, I didn't know that I had. I didn't know that he was special needs. So he's autistic and lots of things going on. So, you know, I always remembered Kathy Halou saying, you know, you never know when you're going to need this business. You just never know. So get going on it, because you might not feel like you need the money right now. You might not feel like you need the flexibility right now, but you never know what's down the road. She always said by death, disability, what would she say? Death, disability, or divorce. Your life could totally change just like that. And I'm so grateful that I had started this business, because it's given me the privilege of being at home and having incredible flexibility, so I can be home and have a schedule that allowed me when he was younger to drop him off at school, pick him up at school, work in the school, all of that kind of stuff that you have to do when you have special needs. And interestingly enough, I have 2 other daughters. One lives in Nashville, and one is a sales director with Mary Kay, and she lives here locally with me. And she started her business right out of college, and she got married, and her first baby was very, 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 very special needs. He's very special needs. So to see how God used this business in my life to when I didn't even know I needed it, you know, and how then I for sure didn't know she was ever going to need it. And so I feel so blessed by this business and the flexibility and the money that we can make in Mary Kay. And so I don't know if that's hits any little special place for anybody, but you know what? You can do this business. You really can. And so anyways, that's my quick story. But I wanted to just tell you, I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about finishing well. Like you said, I think that's so important right now. You know, I will tell you that in all the years I've been in Mary Kay, I have missed a lot more goals than I've ever made. Okay, so does that make you feel good? Or does that make you feel more disappointed? I don't know. But it's typical. I mean, you're not going to always meet your goals, right? And I've definitely missed a lot more of my goals than I actually made. But I will tell you that what's kept me in the game is I don't allow myself to get disappointed or depressed and just step away. I just stay in it, you know? And so I want to encourage you. I'm so glad, like I said, that you guys are on today, and because you obviously are hungry for something, and I want to encourage you to finish well. You know, I heard a long time ago that your success next year is dependent on May and June this year. Did you know that in Mary Kay? Honestly, like, think about this. If you've been in Mary Kay for very long, and you've gone through this cycle, right? You've been in 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Maybe, you're still in the same place and you get frustrated. And think about it like, this time of the year, May and June, it's so tempting to go, I'm not even at all in the ballpark for my goals that I had when I started in July of last year, right? And so it's so easy to kind of take your foot off the gas and just kind of coast and think, I'll restart in July, right? So that's your mentality. I'll restart in July. Then July comes and you're getting ready for seminar, right? And it's vacation season and everything. And you go into July with absolutely no momentum, right? Because you kind of like just been sitting back and refreshing your Facebook to see everybody that's winning and getting more and more depressed, thinking, I didn't make my goal, right? And so Okay, so anyways, so it's vacation season, seminar, before you know it, right? Summer's over like that, right? And then you think, okay, I'm gonna get going. I'm really seriously gotta get down to business and work my business, and school starts. And then that's a crazy season too, right? And so then you have fall advance, right? And you get all jazzed and excited. You're not that far away from your goals. And it's like, okay, recommitted to those goals, right? In October. And then it's like, well, gosh, you just barely get done with fall advance. And then it's the holidays, right? And you go into the holidays without really very much momentum. And so you kind of struggle through the holidays. And then all of a sudden, you think, January jumpstart, like I am totally recommitting my goals in January. And it just keeps going and going, right? And so what I want to encourage you to do, because so often by January, February, March, it's feeling like you're so far away from where you really wanted to be. So why not think today about what can I do right now to finish well? What can I do instead of being on that same cycle of making my goals and not reaching my goals? What if instead I think about not looking at the scoreboard, right? And just focusing on getting some momentum going right now so that I can go into July with the most unstoppable booking and team building momentum ever. Could you get excited about that? Could you get excited? Now, if you are anywhere near a goal, you got to just keep your head down and make it happen. And you guys know, if you're that person, because in your mind, it's already done. You just haven't figured out exactly how. But then there's a lot of people that maybe are just feeling like it's not going to happen. So I just want you to know, we want to spend a little bit of time with that, because we've got 22 days left in the seminar year. So like I said, how about if you focus on a 22-day goal and focus on getting your win for seminar, okay? Whatever that is, get a win for yourself for seminar and finish that goal. So you got 22 days. It's like, what can you do in 22 days? I mean, you could do 30 faces in 22 days, right? You could maybe do 10 interviews in 22 days. You could finish your star and say, I am not letting this quarter go by without finishing up my star. You guys, think to yourself, get a win for yourself. It's so important that you keep your blinders on. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. This is your journey. You figure out, what can I do in the next 22 days so that I can actually have a win? Because I can't tell you how much better it feels going into July with some momentum and some hope, rather than, just kind of gliding into July, right? So, okay. So what I want to say is, these are my little tips for being a finisher and not a quitter. Okay. So here's some quick tips on how to be a finisher and not a quitter, because none of us are quitters, right? We're not going to quit. Okay. So the first one starts with F: focus and be faith-filled. Focus and be faith-filled. You got to think about, what's my goal? What am I finishing up by the end of June? What is my goal? I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to have total faith that I can make that happen. If I go over, around it through, and do everything I can, I'm going to make that happen. The I stands for intentional. Be intentional about breaking down that goal and get clear about that goal that you want to finish by the end of this month and why it's important to you. Be intentional. N is next step. Don't get overwhelmed by the goal. Don't think to yourself, I've never done 30 faces, or I've never held 10 parties in a week, or whatever it is. As sales directors, I'll tell you, there's a lot, and it's funny how that, we have consultants and sales directors on this call. And to be honest, so often as a sales director, if your unit is not, if you didn't finish your unit goal this year, then there's a good chance that we got to sit there and look at ourselves and think, what do I need to do to create momentum in my unit? Because it's not there right now. And if it's not there now, it's not going to be there in July or August. I can guarantee you. And so you got to put your head on and stop worrying about what isn't happening or what you don't think is going to happen, and think, what can I make happen? What can I totally make happen? And then just start thinking about, what's my next step? What is my next step in helping this goal for year end happen? The I is inspiration. What's your inspiration when your tank is low? I think that's so important. So often we call it your why, but what's your inspiration when your tank is low? When you ask, 10 people and nobody wants to book, or one person books and then, she cancels. I have a booking tonight that this girl has booked. This is her second time and she's not got one person in the party group. Oh gosh. It happens, right? And so what do you do? What do you do when your tank is low and you get frustrated and stuff? You got to know what's going to get you back up to excited again. You do. You just have to know. You have to know. Is it going out for ice cream? Is it plugging into a great sermon? Is it praise and worship? Is it taking a walk? Whatever it is to clear your head. And figure out why am I doing this? And just keep going. The S stands for sold out. Be 100% in, girls. Don't get disappointed by what might not be happening right now, but get 100% excited about what can happen. And that's one of the things that I think too has kept me in this business so long, is that I usually don't get disappointed watching other people succeed. I get inspired by watching other people succeed, because it shows me that I can do it too, right? And so be inspired by what other people are doing and get sold out that this opportunity is there for you and me just as much as it is for anybody in this company. And so be 100% all in. H is help. Get help. Get childcare and stuff set up for this summer. Make your work schedule, your summer work schedule. And I know there again, we're talking to so many different people in different seasons of life and things like that. But think about how that would pertain to you. I just think sometimes we go into summer and we are in vacation mode. And while our business is very flexible, and you're not going to make money and you're not going to create momentum if you don't have a work schedule going into the summer, which sometimes looks a lot different than during the school year for people. And so get help, get things in place, let your family know what your goals are, and make plans to schedule that time. And then the E stands for Ephesians 3:20. What may seem impossible pales to what God can do. And that is actually the name of my unit, is the Imagine unit. And Ephesians 3:20 is our unit verse. And I love this. It says, now glory be to God, by his mighty power at work within us, he is able to accomplish infinitely more than we would ever dare to ask or imagine. So it's like a little different. I don't know, the verse is just a little bit different than some different versions, but I love that version. And then the R stands for run your own race. And like I said earlier, it's so important just to run your own race, you guys. You'll never make it long-term in this business if you don't run your own race and stay in your own lane and be inspired and cheer people on, but also stay in your lane and just keep going on to the next thing. And so I asked Jennifer, do you go by Jennifer, Jen, or Jenny?
Go buy anything.
I was gonna say, because I hear people call you all different things, so I wasn't really
Fine.
100% sure what to call it. Okay, so Jennifer is going to play this video that has gone around a little bit, but I love it, and I think it so pertains to what we're talking about.
It's amazing. If you girls, some of you have probably already seen it, but it's phenomenal. And I had it up, but apparently we're going to do this.
Okay, so is that just like incredible? Let's see if we come back. So that's how it starts.
Okay.
Okay. So what I think is so impressive about that, obviously the fact that she keeps going is like really unbelievable. I think she tripped over, was it 2 or 3 hurdles?
Yeah.
And she didn't count herself out. She kept going, kept going. And I thought, wow, I honestly don't know if I would have done that. And to think that not only did she keep going, but she went with such like intensity, like she just was going for it. And I thought, wow, that is so impressive. But one of the other things that I thought was so cool was that, you know what, she didn't reach her goal. She didn't get first place in that race. But because she kept going and didn't quit, she got second place. And that's what gave her the opportunity to be in the finals. And then she went on to win. And so it gives me chills, even right now watching it, even though I've watched it many times. I just think there's so many amazing lessons to be learned through that kind of stick-to-itness and being a finisher, because I believe that becoming, being a finisher is a habit that you can create, and being a quitter is a habit that we create for ourselves when we quit too soon on a goal. And so I just hope that inspires you, and just know that when you're in the working mode, momentum will start. Anything is possible when you have momentum going. So let's get momentum going, whether you're trying to finish up a goal or whether you're just trying to finish strong and get something going for July. When opportunity comes together with momentum, you're gonna see a quantum leap in your business. But so often the opportunity comes by, but we don't have any momentum. So you just get, one amazing party or whatever, or one amazing recruit, and then that's it. You got to get that momentum going so that when good things do come and opportunity comes, it's just like explosion mode, right? So if you're anywhere near your seminar goal, of course, don't quit, finish it. And if you're nowhere near your seminar goal, don't let take your foot off the gas. These next 22 days are setup days to get you ready for your very best year ever. And I want you to think about what personal goal could you make that's non-negotiable in the next 22 days. And just, go and finish. Have an amazing, amazing next 22 days, regardless. Make it like epic. And we can totally do that when we come to the table with our own momentum, whether you're a sales director and have a unit, or whether you're a red jacket and trying to get into DIQ. You create the momentum. We bring the fire, and that will get you off to an incredible July. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, Yes, I loved it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. I love that video every time I see it. Isn't it so encouraging?
It is.
Yes. Does anybody have a quick question for Lynn or something your takeaway or want to affirm her for being on today? I always leave a few minutes for that. You'll have to mute, even if you thought you're muted. I probably muted you.
Lynn
Can I ask
Huckles,
a question?
Linda Quillen.
Hi.
Amazing. What a wonderful way to design and describe finishing versus quitting. Thank you so much for your heart, your passion, your vision, and your legacy, girl.
Thank you so much. I'm glad it was helpful. Praying that it was helpful for women. Yay.
Yes.
You're so welcome. I really appreciate it. This has been so much fun. And like you said, Jen has just been so amazing in putting these together. And gosh, next Thursday, you guys, you're going to have the amazing Bridget Shaw. She's like fire, fire, fire. So you got to plug in next week and be in on all of her magic that's going to happen next Thursday. So yeah, exciting, fun times.
Yes. Does anybody else have anything? I'm trying to
I had
look.
a
I would like to know, I'd like to know where we can get the video.
Oh, that video, it's a YouTube video.
And I can attach it when I have the YouTube link for when we put her recording on YouTube. I'll attach both.
And thank you, because I think you, like Linda said, you hit all the points, all the valuable points about finishing. So thank you. I'm going to have my unit watch this as soon as I can get it.
Good. I'm glad it was helpful for you. I really am. I know that we're at 2:33. Do you want me to have 2 more minutes just to show an idea of how something that they could do to get something going?
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you that I did this about a year and a half ago and had great success with it. And then I kind of got away from it. Of course, it's not something you can do all the time. But right now, for myself, I'm thinking to myself, I want some new excitement in my unit. I need some new blood. I need some new fresh stuff. And and of course we know we got to get on the party train, right? And so I actually started this virtual nationwide road trip again. And most of you probably have seen this a million times. Maybe you've already done it. But if you're struggling to think about where can I go, what can I do? If you already have something that you're working on right now that's working, just keep doing it. I think sometimes we get too many ideas and then, we just don't do anything and we don't get really great at anything. But I just like this because I felt like for me, I needed some fun. Going into summer, I thought it goes the virtual trip, everybody's vacationing. Don't you feel like everyone in the world is vacationing right now? I mean, global, everybody's traveling globally and all over the place. So it's like amazing. So I thought the whole idea of travel and everything really went well, but last time I did it, honestly, I still have consultants and red jackets in my unit from when I did it last time. And it's just basically like, starting out by just sending out pampering packets and trying to get a woman from every single state in the nation to take a packet, get on a live and fill out a survey and give her opinion on the skincare. And it just can be a lot of fun. If you get into it, it can be a lot of fun. And I started with my customers that maybe didn't really, that I've had for a long time, but maybe aren't using the skincare or started using it like 2 years ago, but they haven't reordered or something, And I just thought I'm going to start there. And then they're all from different states. You know how that goes. Most people are from 3 or 4 different states. And so I'm starting to plug them in and then asking them, who do you know? And of course, I'm getting my unit in on it But whether you are a sales director or whether you're just, if you're a consultant, you can just do it yourself. You can get 50 people. You really can. By the end of summer, you could get 50 people, one person from every single state. I know you could, if you really got excited about it and just started, and it's a way to get started. And then once you do this one person, of course, the whole goal is to get her to book a party, right? Because that's always the end game, is getting parties. I'm a huge party trained person. So if you're struggling for something and you're thinking, gosh, I know I need to get some momentum, what do? I have nobody to call. Well, maybe this would be a great way to get started. So I just thought I would share that with you, because I just personally started it a couple weeks ago.
I love that. I love that so much. I've seen that out there. It's a really good idea for all of us to get, because then our people can connect us. I mean, that's one thing about COVID, is it really made everyone force into technology and be connected in a different way. So yes, I know there's a message on here. Yes, the playback, we're going to put it on YouTube. I don't know how everybody found out about it, but I post in my normal Facebook and Voxer groups that I'm part of. And then I don't know, however you got your hands on it before, go there again. It's probably there, or get it from your friend if you got it from your friend, if she's part of that group. Because I know this is going everywhere and I'm not part of every group. Good Lord, that would be insanity. But I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Lynn, thank you for
Yes, thanks
so
for
good part.
inviting me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ladies. Have a great Thursday.
Bye-bye.